Recent updates to ARK Ascended have finally seen some much needed improvements in the render distance and has put a stop to the long running cryo soaking drama. Hello survivors, welcome to your ARK news headlines. That's right, there's been a few updates in the last day that have improved and fixed content that many have been talking about for the past few weeks. Although these may look like little things, they will certainly go towards helping to appease players and improve the gameplay experience, especially on the PvP side, but there's still a long way to go towards overall improvements. So let's take a look at what's changed in ARK Ascended. As always survivors, don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all the latest ARK news. Now I'm going to come on to cryo soaking in just a minute because I want to explain what that is for those of you that may not have heard of the term before. I certainly only recently discovered what it actually is myself. But yesterday, on Thursday, Wildcard put out some patch notes that mentioned the fixing of an exploit, but it wasn't until almost 12 hours later that they edited the patch note to include increased dino render distance. As usual, there's no information there regarding how much of an increase was made. It's down to the players to experience that for themselves in the game. Now, render distance has been an issue for several months, ever since the Extra Life event back in November, when they significantly cut render distance to improve performance of servers during the event. This caused players to experience issues where wild creatures wouldn't appear until they're literally pouncing your face. This was tweaked several times since then. However, this recent increase, I believe, is a fairly significant one. They didn't want to increase render distance until server performance had improved. Well, they've now increased it. Does that mean server performance has improved? I'll make you the judge of that. But I'm led to believe that this has been an increase to roughly double the distance it was before. Now this is going to be across all platforms because it is a server update only, not a client update. So all players should experience an improvement in render distance now. But whether it is enough distance, well, only the players can determine that for themselves. But it is a step in the right direction. The latest patch notes released include the cryo soaking fix, including dinos visually floating up to the sky. They finally fixed that, or at least I hope they have. But cryo soaking, what is it? Well, some of you may have heard the term back in ARK Survival Evolved because there was a form of cryo soaking back then, but this one is different because it directly related to the recent cryopod changes. So essentially this was a PvP issue. We all know that when you try and throw a cryopod out without a powered cryofridge around it, it won't work. However, auto turrets from an enemy tribe would still detect the action of deploying a cryopod. Now it's not going to work here because I am doing this in single player and of course it's patched now anyway. But the way it worked is if this was an enemy auto turret, when I try to throw the cryo near it, you get the notification that you can't deploy because there's no working cryofridge nearby, but the auto turret would still fire at it, therefore wasting bullets, and hence cryo soaking. Players on PvP servers would stand far enough away to not be detected by the turret, and then repeatedly throw their cryopod at the turret from a distance. Once the turret is empty of ammo, they can advance. Wildcard have now patched this. Dolly referred to this issue as an oversight from when they reworked cryopods, but they didn't consider it an exploit. It just needed some tweaking to not be so OP. Obviously this was not something that was picked up during the public test realm, but if this is something that you were impacted by, let me know to make sure that it is actually fixed. Now that particular patch was for servers and clients, so some of the fixes may not be present yet on consoles as the client patches may not have been certified yet. But as I say, some good improvements towards making the gameplay experience better. But there is a hell of a long way to go to see major improvements. That's all for today survivors, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all the latest ARK news.